Hey, how's it going? And happy Friday. So, in my last video, when I was talking about working out, I was talking about time under tension and how I use that in my workout routine to help me get the most efficient workout in the smallest amount of time. Now, today I wanted to get a little bit more specific. So, for this video, I'm going to talk about the exercise that I do in my chest and back day to have an efficient workout in that 30 minutes. So specifically for today, I'm just going to cover the chest, and then I'll cover the back in another video because I don't want to make these videos too long. So just to give you a little bit of something that you can probably apply today, and just, I want to keep it hold your time. So before we get started, I want to kind of run you down on why I do the things that I do. So in any of my workouts, I really don't do heavyweight anymore, mainly because I feel that I'm pretty much past my athletic prime. So what that means for me is, like, I have nothing to prove to anybody. I've maxed out, I've broken records, I've broken my own personal records many times, and I have the medals and the injuries to prove it. So I have absolutely nothing to prove to myself. And at this point in my life, time in my life, the only thing that I want to do is stay happy, healthy, so I can run around with my kids and my family and just live a good life. So that's the reason why I don't do heavyweight, because I've proved everything that I need to prove to myself. So I do occasionally, because you still got to prove you got that dog in you. So occasionally you do have to load up some heavyweight, and I do, but I still do that cautiously. Mainly because the first major injury I received was a torn pec. And I got that, and I think I might have mentioned that in my last video. I got that when I was training for the combine. So that kind of set me back. And I typically don't go anywhere. When I do my heavier days, I don't go anywhere over like 315. Anything over that, I'm not trying to do that, because I have, like I said, there's nothing to prove. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one I like to do is just flat bench. Now, I grab 25s mainly because if I'm going to talk to you, I can't be struggling to breathe and picking up weights at the same time. So that's why I grabbed the 25. So when you use time under tension, you pretty much, if I'm starting at the top and I'm bringing it down, so you're doing maybe like a 4 or 5 count. Maybe like a 3 or 4 count. And the reason why I like to use dumbbells is because you get more range of motion, and you can actually get a natural plane of motion as well. So it lets you feel more natural, so you're not pinching your nerves or messing up your shoulders. So just slowly up, and when you're bringing it back up, you always want to make sure you squeeze at the top. At least I like to do that. So you always want to make sure you're activating your chest as long as possible. That's pretty much the key to time under tension, is you have to activate those muscles for as long as possible. And that's where the magic comes in. The longer you keep the pressure on, the more the muscle has to work. That's how you get big gains in a small amount of time. Now the next one is going to be another obvious one. It's incline, because you have to hit the top of your chest as well. So same concept with incline. Bringing it up, and the reason why I like to do that is because it pushes, you can get a deeper range of motion when you're doing it. So you want to get as deep as possible, but as long as it's comfortable. And you're coming back up. That was a little fast. So I'll try that one more time. So when you're picking up the weight, you always want to remember the concept of, like, you're bending the bar. You never want to keep your arms straight like that. You always want to kind of bend it a little bit, because that's more of the natural motion of your arms. When you have it straight like here, it makes it you're more prone to injury. And that's why I usually like to use dumbbells when I'm doing this kind of work, because with the straight bar, you get to a certain point and then it starts to tighten up, and then you could tear a pec. And that's essentially what I did with mine, but it was on flat bench. So you're bending the bar and you're coming down slow, coming back up. All right. And the last one that I like to use is going to be chest dumbbell flies. Now this one can be a little bit dangerous if you don't do it correctly. So word of advice, use lighter weight before until you get the technique, and then go to heavier weight, because this is something that puts a lot of pressure on your chest and your shoulders. So you don't want to like mess your arm up or your shoulder up doing anything like that. So with a fly, and I'm always mindful of my pec, so I'm usually keeping like a close range for mine. So you always, then this is for the inside of the chest. So that's what you always have to do. Be mindful of the muscle that you're working. So if you're coming down, and I don't really go out very far, as if you go out that far, then you're risking your chest health. So if you're coming down, and I just like to get it back here, but the whole key is coming back up and squeezing at the top. And that's where you want to activate that muscle at. Just like you have to hit the inside of it. If you're aiming for the inside, make sure you're squeezing the inside. If you're coming back down again, and then coming back up. And you can go different ranges, but the thing is, you always want to be mindful of your chest because it does put a lot of pressure on it. So like I said, you want to build up to that strength. So don't feel embarrassed about picking up 10s or 15s. You're not there for anybody else. You're there for yourself. So, this is these are pretty much the things that I do in my routine. Like that was 3 moves that I do, and I also said that I incorporate back into this, which I do plan on making a video about my back exercises. But essentially, don't let people convince you that it's complicated to stay in shape. It's not. If you see somebody and they're like making, giving you routines that have all these lifts you ain't never heard of, don't trust it because it's gonna mess something up. At this time in our life, we need to keep it simple. Everything's too complicated. 3 moves. It hits the bottom, the top, the inside. Just keep it simple. So that's all I got for today. Happy Friday. If you like more videos like this, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what kind of workouts or tips and tricks you might need, and I got you. Happy Friday. Talk to you later. Peace.